Hello everybody, welcome to Crafter's Story. Thank you for stopping by and visiting with me. It's Celeste here. So, did you know that freezer paper is really good for arts and crafts? Well, it is because it says so right on the box. It says great for freezing meat and arts and crafts. So that's exactly what I'm doing today. I have got I've taken some of my freezer paper. I bought this ginormous roll, goodness only knows why, and I'm glad I did, but 150 square feet. I don't think I've even used a third of it, but anyway. So I've got my freezer paper, and I have been making these little gift bags with it. Here's another little gift bag that I made, and then before obviously I can make the gift bags, I have to paint onto the freezer paper. So here are two designs in addition to these two cutie patooties that I've been making. So you could either use this as collage fodder or maybe wrapping paper, or to make bags. So I thought what we could do is I will get out some freezer paper, put it down. I'm making small pieces, but if I was to not be working on camera and perhaps just working on my complete desk or maybe on the floor, I could make much bigger sheets if I'm going to be using it as wrapping paper. But it's super easy. All I am using is some of my folk art and apple barrel acrylic paints. I've also been using some of the this is the Acryology. It's from the dollar store, but the Crafter's Square paint is good too. I have some markers, I have some gel pens, I have a paint pen, a metallic marker paint pen. So just anything that you've got lying around is going to be great for this. So I'll put this aside and just grab out a piece of the freezer paper. Now it's going to have the shiny side and it's going to have the matte side. We're going to paint and mark on the matte side because you're going to have your paint and stuff is going to peel on this side. So let me tear a piece off. It makes a horrible sound, so I'll come back once I've pulled it all off. I've got this great big piece here. Where's that thing? I don't know how wide this freezer paper is. I think 18 inches wide. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to halve it because it's a bit big for us to. It's a bit too big to use the whole piece. I can't get the whole thing in the frame. So I'm just going to fold it roughly in half. Says me as I measure up. roughly accurately. And let me cut this piece in half. Man, that was skew. Oh my gosh, Celeste. Anyway, so I did not cut very straight, you guys. I'm sorry. That was silly of me, but it's okay. It's all right. So here is my matte side. There is my shiny side. And I thought maybe I would do something similar to this one. And just maybe with different colors. So let me try this nice purple. I'm going to put down a background color, nice darkish background color. Maybe that with a little bit of my black. Oop. Luckily I have, oh, that looks all gunky. I don't think that's good anymore. We'll put that away. Okay, brushes. I need brushes. I was cleaning a brush this morning and I broke it in half. I don't know how I did that. I broke it right in half. I shocked myself. I thought, okay, I didn't think I was that strong, but it's probably just because the brush was so old. Okay, I probably have a little more black here than I really wanted, but I can add some purple. It's a very rich palette. Yeah, a little bit too much black, hey? All right, no problem. We just put a little bit more of the purple down and spread it all over the place. Part of why I like these paints is because they're water-based and they will dry really quickly. You can see it's water-based. It's making the paper cool a little bit. Okay, so you can now decide just to wait for this layer to dry, which I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to move it off to the side, and then we'll paint that other one, the second piece, oh, here it is. Paint the second piece, and again I want the matte side. Let me stick this back in my, get another color out. Let's see, what should we do on this one? I want to do something similar to that again. I just think it's simple but yet pretty, and I thought I had, let's try brown. I haven't tried a brown yet. Here we go. I've got a darkish brown here. Let's get some of that down. Oh, come out. Out you come. There you go. And I'm just going to put a plain brown down. Plain brown down. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, I think it's maybe a little plainer than I really want. So maybe we can add a little bit of coral, or yes, I think that's a good idea. A little bit of this sort of coral pinky orange. It'll be nice because that goes with the brown. And then we're going to let this one dry as well a bit, and then we can start doing some markings. What is that? Take that away. We can start doing some markings, and then when these guys are dry, I'll show you how I made the gift bags out of this paper. And even though it's freezer paper, it is surprisingly strong. So okay, let's leave this to dry. I think that actually came out quite nice. everything is dry. It's actually the next morning already. I had to walk away from this craft, unfortunately, but it means that everything is well and truly dry, which is great. And I can now start just decorating a little extra, a little doodling on this page. Nothing too fancy, because I think I'll just do some of these lines on the leaves so they don't look quite so flat, like that, and then maybe a couple of squiggles on the flowers. And let me, because there's so many, I'm not going to do everything on camera because we'll be here all day. But this could just be something very simple like this, just to add a little bit of dimension to these blobs of color and make them now look like roses. And then maybe we can do something like that. And you don't have to be super accurate, because if you're going to use this as a well, I suppose you could use it as a greeting card if you cut it up or reduced it on your, oh, it's a little bit wet there, see, oh, let's see if I can just go carefully, oh dear, okay, I'll have to come back maybe with a Sharpie and get that in. That one, even overnight, my goodness, why did it take so long? I probably made the paint a little too thick on that one. So, lesson learned. So that I will complete. And just, so what was I saying? Oh, I was saying that you could reduce it and make this into a greeting card. Or use it as wrapping paper on a smaller gift. Or you could make a gift bag out of it. Now the next one, I will finish this and I'll bring it back as a reveal, but you can see what I'm doing is just putting a couple of doodles down. I think you know what else I'd like to do, because the background is a bit flat as well. Maybe just do like I did on my other page that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Maybe do a couple of little dots around the circles. And again, it's just that little visual interest that you adding to your paper. If you really like your design, maybe you want to go to a print shop and have it photocopied and make a number of copies, maybe on a nicer paper than what you have in your printer at home. And I'm kind of tempted to do that with this one and the other one I showed you earlier with the flowers, just because I think that they could really be nice as collage fodder. If your printer, my printer doesn't take thicker paper for some bizarre reason, and that's maybe just because I haven't figured out how. That is probably the main reason. But if I had maybe a printer that did take better paper, I could print this off on thicker paper and keep it as collage fodder as well. So there's all these different things that you can do. So I'm going to put this aside just for a second so that we can make, what did I do? Oh, here it is. So we can make a little bag with this one, which I love, really, really love. So I'm going to just cut off some of these sort of ragged edges. And I probably don't want to be super accurate, so maybe what I'll just do to give myself a little bit of accuracy is to tear it off. I could have cut it, but then I have to measure and draw a line and all that stuff. And I just want to make a bag. So line that up at the end there and cut off the end of the white here, so we don't have any of this. And then I'm going to do the same. I wonder if this is going to be, this bag will be a bit bigger than those others I've made, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to eyeball this one and tear it off like this. There we go. Oh, I made a mess at the end, but I think it's going to be okay because it'll be part of our fold over. We do the same on this one, and I'm just lining up the top of my ruler because that is, then I'll get a somewhat 90-degree angle, or I should. Let's tear this off with a bit of luck. I am not messing up my shape. Let's see. I think it's okay. I think I managed it, you guys. Okay. So the first thing that you do when you're making these bags is to give yourself a nice neat edge, and I just do it by folding over the edge, and I was gluing it before, but then I have to wait for the glue to dry, and so I think just having the double-sided tape made a lot more sense. So there's my one side already nice and neat, and I'm doing about a 1/2 inch over here. Maybe that's a little more than a 1/2 inch, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be exact. So I'm going to do that. Okay, and now same thing, but the corners get a bit bulky, so I'm going to cut a little wedge off my corners just to debulk it a little bit, like that. And now we're just going to do the same thing here and give ourselves a little bit of a neater edge and get that down. Like this. If any of you guys are wondering why I'm sporting a band-aid constantly on my thumb, it's because I whacked it in the car door. And it's not healing very quickly, so I'm just covering it up to keep it just covering it up. So it's probably going to be a feature for a few more weeks. I felt really silly when I did it, but that's what I did. I whacked my finger. I wasn't paying attention. The wind was blowing and the car door just went and my thumb was in the way. So I'm going to have to feature this band-aid for a while. So anyway, so here we are, all done. There is our bag already, super easy, as you can see. Now what I'm going to do is to put down some tape here, and on the other side, and then we're going to put little holes in the corners for our ribbon. Oh, I went a bit too far up here. Okay. And then put in the ribbon and maybe an eyelet, and it's done. It's that easy. I think it takes you longer to paint the design than it does to actually make the bag. And I just love the idea of maybe making the same bag as your wrapping paper if you're doing this for a gift. You could even coordinate it with the card, so you can have the card, the bag and the wrapping paper all be the same design. You just have to make extra, obviously. And there we go. Okay, now let me get my crocodile out and let's get that eyelet in, and we are done. In one sec, go back. Goodness. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my crocodile, guys. I don't quite know why it's sticking, but it is, and maybe there's some glue on it or something. Maybe I just need to get it cleaned up. It's not going to be big enough. There's my first hole, and with a bit of luck I line up the second one. I hopefully am I going to stick my head in me? Let me make a mark, because I think I'm going to make let's see, it's more or less there-ish. I think so. There-ish is my exact measure. Okay, there you go. Let's get an eyelet. Let me grab these bronze ones. I think will look nice. Does it have a backing on the bronze ones? I think I'm just going to put in the one side, and if I have to put a backing in I can maybe do that later, but let's just get the, hopefully this works this time. It didn't want to work for me. Yep, I'm in on that one. That's good. Okay, let's see. Oh, go in you. And let's see if I can get this one in. Yep, in. Okay, great. So there you go. Our bag is nearing completion. It's looking really good. And I am now just going to put in my ribbon. I'm just going to use some very plain black ribbon. I think that'll look nice. Let's see, put it in one side. Oh, come on. Got it. I got it. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to make a knot. And then I'm going to, I don't want to cut too much, but let's cut it there. Then I'm going to go around and in the other side and make the knot on the other side. And then we are done. And maybe I can cut these a little shorter. They're a bit long, right? A little bit too long. Like that. And maybe I even made the string a little bit too long, but that's okay. I think it'll be fine. Just neaten up here a bit. There you go. So now we have a really lovely gift bag. And where's my other gift bags? Here they are. Let me show you all the gift bags. So there's a cute little one with a double string. So here we go. This was my first one, and I made my inside folds a bit too wide. It doesn't need to be that wide. It could have been half that. But you know, I can still use this. And then this little guy, I made the fold-ins a little better. So there's my little bag, which kind of mirrors this one, right? And then a much bigger bag. So there are those three. And then we've got our wrapping paper. Here is one that I made previously. And then I need to finish up this one. So let me go and do that and do a quick reveal of this one. And then that is our video. Okay, I got it done, all done. Now, you know, I probably could put in a couple of extra little white dots, but then it looks too much like this one. And I like the idea of them being just that little bit different. So there are 2 of our wrapping papers, and here is our 3rd wrapping paper, which all 3 of which I am very, very pleased with. And then just one last look. I suppose these 2 could go together in terms of their coloring for, I don't know. And then the little guy and the bigger guy. So all those possibilities. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, you guys, and that it was inspiring, and that you are going to get yourself some freezer paper and make some wrapping paper and some bags. They're nice to personalize for friends and family. And I will see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.